Good morning, everybody. Lindsey Huddleston with SPS back in the building for another Monday Motivation. Yes, it's time to get back at it. We got a new week. Some of you might be struggling because you stayed up a little longer than usual for Super Bowl Sunday, watching that amazing Super Bowl. Amazing indeed it was, where you saw the comeback victory. What's up, Reg? You good, baby? You saw the comeback victory by the Kansas City Chiefs, Kansas City, Missouri. Hint, hint, not Kansas City, Kansas. Anyway, that's another comment. But great statement by Patrick Mahomes and what he accomplished. Wow, great game, great game. But it gives us a great point to talk about. That is the power of resilience. As of late, SPS is always focused on mental toughness, but we will also encourage the discussion about mental health. And one of the pillars of mental health is resilience, your ability to bounce back. I always talked about that over the last week. The pillars of mental health are: one, being able to be mentally flexible; two, be mindful; and the third, being resilient. And what a great example we saw. Psychology Today, great publication I often refer to, talked about factors that make a person resilient. A positive attitude, being optimistic, the ability to regulate your emotions, very important, not to get too high, not to get too low, and seeing failure as a form of helpful feedback. And that's probably one of the harder things we struggle. What's up, Chuck? What's up, Mo? All my guys out here getting it in. Optimism is very important to have, because optimism can help you deal with the impact of stress. When we get overloaded and we got things really weighing heavy on our mind, we have an optimistic outlook, a glass half full outlook. It can really help. I can't overstate that enough, how important it is to have this outlook. Now, what normally happens is you may have factors in your life. It may be a trigger in your life. Maybe it's a relationship, some post-traumatic stress that you've had, where it's hard for you to stay positive. And people say, oh, you're just trying to be positive. No, it's important. And once the brain starts thinking positive, you set yourself up to receive these things. Resilience is not easy. It takes work to do this over and over again, to be able to bounce back. These are things that you need to cultivate over time. It may come in small forms. I see guys like Chuck and Mo who are coaches out here with our young people. I bet they want to pull their head out when they're dealing with these young people out here on the basketball court or out here in sports. But it takes you to kind of work on that bit by bit. It's not something we just wake up with. It's not something we just have. It's something you have to work on. Also, resilience is about getting through the pain of disappointment when you feel your spirit is crushed. Something I think universally has crushed everybody's spirit for the most part is the death of Kobe Bryant. We're still dealing with that. Hey, Rena, how you doing, love? We're still dealing with that. Matter of fact, we haven't even been able to find some kind of closure because there hasn't even been a funeral yet. But with technology, we can see all these things happening over and over again. Just last night, I watched the actual flight plan when they flew from different area to different area, and then the helicopter goes off the radar. We haven't been able to have closure, but these are these crushing things that can really hurt us. But that's why it's important to work on resilience. This is not just mumbo jumbo talk. This is not just, just throw something out there. It's about training your brain to be able to recover from something. What's up, fam? How you doing, Lando? You guys got to check out Mo Des. Fam is getting it done like that. So the last thing I want to say about this as I wrap up and get into some other things is that you have to recognize that life is not about a winning streak. Life is not about all these wins, and it's perfect streak. I can't lose. Everything has to be right. Orlando knows that as an entrepreneur, you got to go through steps to get where you have to go. But life is more so about wins and losses. Learning from your losses to get more wins. Perfect example. Kansas City Chiefs and what they went through last season, how they had a great season but couldn't get over the hump, but then to come back and in the final minutes of the Super Bowl, be able to be successful. Now, I'm looking at everyone who's on my timeline right now. Hey, everybody, what's going on? All these people I know personally have overcome a great deal, have been through a lot. And they're up this morning following a positive word. So I hope this is resonating with you. And the message we're talking about is being resilient. How can you cultivate a mindset to be able to bounce back? It sucks because we have plans. We have things we want to do. And based on where your faith is, you feel that you can create these things on your own. But life gets in the way. Things happen. They don't happen the way we expect. None of us expected to get the news last week about Kobe Bryant passing away. That vulnerability it hit us all with. It may have opened up some other issues. It may have triggered some other traumatic issues in our life about death and losing people that we know about or care about and things like that. But how can we be resilient? How can we work our way back? How can we have a mindset that everything doesn't happen the right way all the time? Give me a break. This is life. I like to tell some of my athletes that I work with when they struggle with shooting. Perfect example, Michigan State. Shout out to Michigan State and my guys. When they struggle with shooting, Ray Allen, one of the best shooters in the NBA, greatest of all time. Tell me a game. Well, I shouldn't say tell me a game where he didn't miss a shot. But Ray Allen had to work on that. He had to cultivate that. I'll never forget that when Ray was playing with the Celtics, I was down in Detroit at the what hotel does everyone go to in Birmingham? All the teams play. I'm sorry for having the Townsend. And I remember seeing Ray leaving early, getting ready to go to the Palace to get an early shoot around. My point being is the greatest shooter ever had to work on it. We have to work on our resilience. Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning. Getting up early, getting it in. I know you are. We have to work on being resilient. It doesn't just happen overnight. We have to cultivate this thing. How can I bounce back when things don't go my way? Again, to Michigan State basketball, you had a rough time on the road. You brought that game back to within 1 point in Wisconsin. It's okay. What can you learn from that? Now you got to get ready for Penn State tomorrow, then a big Michigan game this weekend. I'm not telling you to get too far ahead, but it's all about bouncing back. Life is about wins and losses and what you can learn from the losses that can help you with the wins. If you need an example, look at the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes staying locked in. When they went down with about 2 minutes to go, he could have easily packed it in. He could have easily said, oh, we're not going to win. But he stayed focused, had an amazing performance, and now he's a Super Bowl champion. I want all you guys to be champions. I want you to recover from your losses. I want you to learn from your losses, and that'll lead you to greater wins. You have to be resilient. Have it in you. Hope this message has a positive impact on you. I hope this helps kick off your week to some great things. I hope you can leave behind some negative thoughts that you may have had and focus on the positive. Life is about wins and losses. There's no such thing as a perfect streak. And if it's a perfect streak in a perfect world, how good is that? I think our losses help build character. Our losses make us appreciate things. The losses help us love those who are with us now because we know how hard it is when we lose those that we really love. So I won't keep you guys. It went a little longer than expected with 7 minutes going on 8. I want to wish you all the best. And last thing, as always, I want to leave you guys with this. Work on what you're working on bit by bit, piece by piece, and keep pushing. Keep going, and you'll get there. Thank you guys for supporting SPS. Thank you for supporting the movement. I hope this can be a positive impact on you. Go to the website, www.SPS. TheSPSEdge.org, and if I can be a resource to you, whether it's coming out to your school, coming out to your job, check us out, and then we're here to help you. So with that, I'll sign off and see you guys soon. Peace.